saying?
I mean, we had the conversation, but ultimately, I feel like that was something we both wanted. You know, I feel like being a dad is my calling, being a mother is hers.
DDG was all smiles talking about having a baby with Halle Bailey, but behind closed doors, a nightmare was unfolding. Now, rumors are swirling after Bailey was reportedly seen emotional outside the courthouse, following her shocking request for a restraining order against DDG. What horrifying details did she reveal about DDG's abuse in court? And what did Disney's princess suffer at the hands of the rapper? The shocking allegations came on Tuesday, May 13th, 2025. The 25-year-old Disney princess pulled up to Los Angeles court with receipts detailing what she describes as a pattern of behavior from Daryl Dwayne Granberry Jr., DDG, that was physically, verbally, emotionally, and financially abusive. The judge wasn't playing games and immediately granted Bailey a temporary restraining order, telling the 27-year-old rapper he needs to stay at least 100 yards away from both Bailey and their 18-month-old son, Halo. And the wild court documents paint a troubling picture of how things went left between the former couple, who first linked up in early 2022 after being spotted together, vibing at Usher's Las Vegas residency. Their relationship, which played out on the timeline with PDA-heavy posts and red carpet flexes, seemed to be goals, especially when they welcomed baby boy Halo in December 2023. However, according to Bailey, behind closed doors was a different story, leading to their breakup in October 2024, because of what she says was DDG's inability to control his temper. The most serious incident Bailey put on blast in her court filing allegedly popped off in January 2025, a few months after they called it quits. According to the paperwork, Bailey was trying to have a conversation with DDG about setting up a proper visitation schedule for their son when things got heated. Bailey states that while she was securing their son in his car seat in DDG's whip, the rapper started wilding out.
That they were having a conversation about the schedule, and then things kind of went left. She said that as this conversation was happening, she was assisting in buckling Halo into his car seat, and then that's when she claims that DDG grew agitated and repeatedly said, "Get out of my car, B word." She says that she then, got up. She began to get upset because the baby started to cry, and she got nervous about DDG leaving with him because the baby was in such an aggravated
The situation allegedly escalated to straight-up violence when, according to Bailey, DDG pulled her hair and slammed her face against the steering wheel, hard enough to chip her tooth. The court documents include photographic evidence of the chipped tooth, plus pictures of bruises Bailey claimed she sustained during the altercation. According to Bailey's testimony, despite the alleged assault, she stayed in the car because she was worried about her son, who was crying during the whole situation. She says she rode with DDG to his home, where she immediately told his family about what went down before leaving, once they promised to look after Halo. This wasn't the only time DDG allegedly put hands on her. Bailey's filing mentions another incident from March 2025 that was serious enough for her to file a police report. The full details of this confrontation haven't been made public, but it apparently involved property damage and pushed Bailey further toward seeking legal protection. Beyond the physical altercations, Bailey alleges a pattern of emotional and verbal harassment, particularly through DDG's massive online platforms. As both a successful rapper and major content creator with millions of followers across YouTube, Twitch, and other social media sites, DDG has serious clout online. Bailey claims he's been using his influence to badmouth her to his audience, resulting in her receiving backlash and hate from his followers. One specific situation detailed in the court documents involved DDG allegedly confronting Bailey about a Mother's Day trip she took with their son. Bailey claims DDG sent her texts linking articles suggesting she was on vacation with another man, R&B singer Brent Faiyaz, and made threatening comments about getting back at her during his own time with their son. When Bailey told him to stop with the harassment, the tension only got worse.
I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a conversation around if she was dating Brent Faiyaz or not, because people thought, they were alleging that she was away on this trip with Brent Faiyaz with baby Halo.
Never heard that in my life.
That was a thing. It was a thing online, and she says that because of that, DDG began to text her like articles and she actually has screenshots of text messages allegedly from DDG in this doc.
The restraining order granted to Bailey also included permission for her to take their son to Italy for 2 months for a film project, accompanied by family members and a traveling nanny. Additionally, Bailey requested a cease and desist order to prevent DDG from posting or streaming content about her or their son on his various platforms, because she's concerned about his fans coming for her online. As the news of the restraining order spread across the blogs and social media, the internet exploded with reactions on X, formerly Twitter. Posts about the allegations racked up millions of views, with fans choosing sides and going to war in the comments. Many showed love to Bailey, while others questioned if there was more to the story. The severity of these allegations hits differently, considering the couple's public image before they split. Throughout 2022 and 2023, they were considered relationship goals in entertainment, with DDG supporting Bailey at major events like Variety's Power of Young Hollywood celebration and the AIM premiere of The Little Mermaid. Bailey had even been on record speaking sweetly about DDG in interviews, telling Essence magazine that she had been checking for him since his early YouTube days. "I grew up being on YouTube and would always see the young Black creators and was constantly inspired by them. He was one of them," Bailey said about DDG during Happier Times. A hearing is set for June 4th, 2025, to determine whether the temporary restraining order should be made permanent. Until then, the 100-yard separation requirement is in full effect, and the entertainment world is watching closely as this troubling situation continues to unfold.
And the judge gave her permission to take nearly the 18-month-old son, Halo, to Italy, where she'll be filming a movie for 2 months coming up.
And Halle got a lot of receipts, right?
Yeah, I told you. She got text messages in this doc that she filed. She has photos. A judge is not going to grant a restraining order just off of like oh my God, I think this is happening to me. You have to show what you're talking about.
What makes these allegations even more shocking is that based on extensive research, there's no documented history of DDG putting hands on anybody in the past. His only previous run-in with the law was a 2022 arrest for a gun charge during a traffic stop, which TMZ reported had nothing to do with any violent situation. Similarly, there are no public reports of Halle Bailey being in toxic or abusive relationships. Before getting with DDG, making these current allegations a complete surprise to fans who followed their relationship. The relationship between Halle Bailey and DDG, once considered major goals by fans across social media, started with all the classic signs of a modern celebrity power couple. Their love story kicked off in January 2022 when fans caught them looking booed up at Usher's Las Vegas residency, with videos quickly circulating on social media. By March of that year, DDG made it Instagram official with a birthday tribute to Bailey, calling her the beautifulest, the flyest, the sweetest. Love you forever. The couple's first red carpet moment came in June 2022 at the BET Awards, where they stepped out hand in hand in matching black fits, showing the world they weren't hiding their situation. Throughout that summer, DDG continued to show up for Bailey at industry events, including Variety's Power of Young Hollywood celebration, where she was being honored. Their relationship seemed to be the perfect blend of old-school romance and new media success. She, a Disney princess and Beyoncé's protege through Chloe x Halle, he, a self-made success story who had leveraged YouTube fame into a music career with bangers like Moonwalking and Calabasas. Bailey even spoke publicly about their connection, telling Essence magazine that she had been a fan of DDG's grind for years. "I grew up being on YouTube and would always see the young Black creators and was constantly inspired by them. He was one of them," she shared, revealing the foundation of respect that had initially drawn her to him. By late 2023, pregnancy rumors started circulating as Bailey's public appearances became more strategic and carefully styled. Then, in January 2024, she confirmed what the blogs had been speculating with an Instagram post introducing their son Halo to the world. "Even though we're a few days into the new year, the greatest thing that 2023 could have done for me was bring me my son. Welcome to the world, my Halo," she wrote, marking what seemed like a blessed new chapter for the couple. However, behind the perfectly filtered Instagram post, it seems the relationship was already showing cracks. According to Bailey's recent court filings, DDG's temper had become a real problem, creating serious tension between them. Then, in October 2024, just 9 months after their son was born, DDG announced their breakup through an Instagram story. "Dear friends and supporters, after much reflection and heartfelt conversations, Halle and I have decided to go our separate ways," his statement began. "This decision was not easy, but we believe it's the best path forward for both of us. Despite the changes in our relationship, our love for each other remains deep and true. We are still best friends and adore each other. Our commitment to being the best parents to our son, Halo, is unwavering, and we kindly ask for understanding and support during this time." A few days later, DDG spoke more about the breakup during an episode of his No Ordinary podcast, emphasizing their continued bond as co-parents. "Me and Halle are forever family, forever," he stated. while also acknowledging the challenges of dating someone with Bailey's level of fame. At the time, these statements painted a picture of an amicable split with a focus on peacefully co-parenting their son. But Bailey's recent court filings tell a completely different story about what allegedly went down after their public breakup. According to the documents, the relationship got even more toxic in the months following their split, with tension particularly centered around child visitation arrangements. Bailey claims she had been trying to lock in a consistent schedule for DDG to see their son, but alleges that the rapper preferred to pop up to see Halo whenever it was convenient for him, creating conflict when these impromptu visits didn't align with her schedule. This ongoing disagreement apparently reached a breaking point in January 2025, when Bailey tried to discuss a formal visitation schedule with DDG. According to her account, she was buckling their son into DDG's car when the rapper became agitated, allegedly pulling her hair and slamming her face against the steering wheel, resulting in a chipped tooth that Bailey documented with photos included in her court filing. Bailey also appeared in the 2023 adaptation of The Color Purple, further establishing her acting credentials beyond her music work with Chloe, ex-Halle, which had already earned the duo multiple Grammy nominations. Meanwhile, DDG continued to build his brand as both a content creator and musical artist, having leveraged his YouTube fame into a record deal with Epic Records, and hits including his double platinum banger Moonwalking in Calabasas. Yet even during this seemingly successful period, there were signs of tension. In July 2023, DDG dropped a track titled Famous that many interpreted as him expressing insecurity about Bailey's rising star and her on-screen romantic scenes. The song caught major heat online, with fans calling it misogynistic and accusing DDG of trying to control Bailey's career. In her court filings, Bailey not only sought protection from alleged physical abuse, but also requested permission to take Halo to Italy for 2 months while she films a new project. The judge approved this request, allowing Bailey to travel with their son, accompanied by family members and a nanny. Additionally, Bailey asked for a cease and desist order to prevent DDG from discussing her or their son on his various social media platforms and streams, citing concerns about fan reactions and online harassment. This is a complete 180 from October 2024, when DDG was on his podcast talking about their breakup and emphasizing their ongoing connection as co-parents. "Me and Halle are forever family, forever," he stated, presenting the image of a mature split. But according to Bailey's allegations, the months following that statement included serious incidents of physical violence and ongoing harassment. The entertainment industry has been watching the unfolding drama with major concern, particularly given how beloved Bailey has become through her Disney role and musical career as a protege of Beyoncé, who signed Bailey and her sister Chloe to Parkwood Entertainment in 2016. Bailey has connections to some of the biggest power players in entertainment. However, as of May 14th, 2025, no major celebrities had issued public statements about the allegations, though advocacy groups were reported to be rallying behind Bailey. The aftermath and reactions as news of Halle Bailey's restraining order against DDG spread like wildfire across social media on May 13th, 2025. The reaction was swift and divided, showing how invested many fans are in the former couple's relationship. On social media, especially X, formerly Twitter, posts about the allegations blew up with millions of views and thousands of comments. The conversation quickly split between Bailey supporters and those writing for DDG. One of the first major accounts to break the news was Popbase, whose post stating, "Halle Bailey has been granted a domestic violence restraining order against